So you've been interviewed quite a bit on several different media types and CBS and then everyone else has covered you and you get covered a lot on dry January. It seems to be one of the things that you always get interviewed for.
Yeah.
Is that for a particular reason or just happen to be?
People love talking about dry January. Like, I think there's just so much interest. Well, sober October and dry January are both
Okay.
pretty, pretty, people are interested in it. It's like dry weddings are new. And I think it's an interesting phenomenon and I love it. Like, I'm a big fan of it. And so you had said you were curious about community reinforcement approach before. And there's community reinforcement approach is a therapy that was developed by a guy named Bob Myers. He's a psychologist at University of New Mexico. And one of the things that he encourages people to do in community reinforcement approach is sobriety sampling. And what sobriety sampling is just trying sobriety, like encouraging people to give it a shot. Like, what would it be like to not drink for a month? So dry January is basically sobriety sampling, but it's sort of a cultural phenomenon that a lot of people can get behind. And people don't give them a hard time if they're not drinking during January. It's past the holidays, and they might have had like a rough period during the holidays. There's often a lot of like family strife or over drinking at parties and social and family situations. So people are often ready for a break. And it's a time where you can maybe convince somebody to take a month off and just see what it feels like not to drink or use.
Yeah, that makes
You know,
sense.
yeah, it's good to compare, right? Like a
Right.
whole month of not drinking, with what was happening before that, and is it better? Is it worse? You know?
So I guess for the people that are like the binge drinkers, right? And so the heavy drinkers, for them to try something that is completely opposite, because I've had these conversations about cold turkey and like how that can actually have a negative effect on people if they're used to drinking, alcohol for so long. Like my father, right? If he was like, you knew he was awake because you heard the beer can crack open, right? And and that was from the time he woke up to the time he passed out wherever he was at that point. But to just stop and for a few days, are there not risks of any kind of withdrawal? And should they gradually step down or
Yeah,
do
so
they?
it really depends on how much you're drinking. So
Yeah,
the drinking you were just describing from the morning to the nighttime, though somebody who's drinking that much really should not and cannot stop on their own. They should have like it should be medically supervised because if someone who is dependently drinking stops, they could have seizures. They could even die. Like, it's pretty serious. So someone like that really needs to go inpatient typically to detox first, and have medical supervision and medications to help them taper off of drinking. But I think of alcohol as really a spectrum disorder. Everything from I don't drink at all to I drink once in a while to I drink, you know, heavily a couple times a year to I'm drinking all day every day, right?
yeah.
And so, if you're having more than, like, say, I usually look at more like 8 to 10 drinks in a day, that's when you need to start thinking about like
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, that's a lot to have in a single day. Some people are trying these other types of drinks. I just really recently found out about that sort of subverts that need for alcohol. And so, because maybe like the social drinker, like we were mentioning earlier, because there's different types, right? It's on the spectrum. But some people just drink because they want the social, but then they're also getting the effect of the alcohol. So kava bars have been opening up. I don't know if so, okay, so you know what about them. I just found out about this like 2 weeks ago. I still don't know a whole lot about it. Is it, do you think that's beneficial for someone to do, or is there
you
enough
know
research?
Yeah, so I don't know the research on I don't think there is enough. I'm not aware of the research on that, let's just say.
Yeah.
So I can't really speak to that, but um, I think we need to be careful because I'm just not sure, I guess is
Yeah.
what I would say to that.
Yeah, because it was something that's not FDA regulated right now. I'm sure at some point, it
Right.
will
Well,
be.
it's not a medication, it's like a supplement or like a I'm not sure exactly what category it's in, but it's sort of, and the other one that's like that I hear a lot about is kratom. So
Yes.
kava is more like alcohol-ish, like more like a benzodiazepine kind of feel, whereas kava is more like an opioid. Sorry, kratom is more like an opioid.
Yeah. Which doesn't sound great, right? It doesn't sound like that would be good for you.
Yeah, yeah, and
Yeah.
both of those things you can get them in like bodegas, or you can get them anywhere in the city. Um, and then the other one is nitrous that we see a fair amount where people are inhaling nitrous oxide, which is
Gosh. Wow.
really,
Really?
really dangerous. And I see really bad physical
Yeah.
consequences of nitrous.
I can imagine. Yeah, that's that's awful. I don't want any part of that. I'm good.
Yeah, good.
Yeah. Jeez.